Southbound Vermont, approaching 83rd.
We're going to try and catch a visual. We unfortunately need to stay on the other side of the 110 freeway. So we are shooting this pursuit from a distance, but we caught a glimpse there. I'm sure we'll be able to rack this tape up for you here in a second. And you can see just moments ago as he ran through a fence.
Ran through a fence.
Please stand by. Guys, I'm sorry. I got somebody talking to me.
All right,
White Dodge Charger that's blown through a fence here in South Los Angeles. We are back, people. We are right in the restricted airspace. Incredible rates of speed. This is a DUI want in South Los Angeles. Need a third star for this one, people. Headed towards an intersection.
Is just nothing less than a very reckless and erratic driver who is driving.
All right, chat. I got you.
Of South LA. He is now
Get up in here. It's been a minute. We have a silver Dodge Charger headed towards an intersection on Florence Avenue in Hoover, South Los Angeles in the Linwood area. Just plowed through a fence. Right as we went live, dragged the fence with him.
We're going to get a better glimpse through that driver's side window to see
Boogity, boogity, boogity!
heavily tinted windows.
Let's go, Jason, for the first time in a long time. Second in quite some time.
But at some point,
Welcome back. Welcome in. DUI is the one. This is going to be a 3-star chase. Chris Christie on the call, ABC 7.
just a little bit further back behind him, trying to keep up.
Headed towards another very busy intersection, Figueroa Street. Figueroa in Florence. It doesn't get much more crowded than this. 5:21 p.m. Pacific time. Rush hour on a Friday here in Los Angeles. DJ Ryerson in the chat drops a gargantuan sub bomb. Holy Christ.
Driving very aggressively.
How many subs just went out from DJ? That has to be like 30. Sub dubs in the chat. So, that's like 30 something subs that just went out. 25 or 30. W's in the chat for DJ Ryerson and everyone else who's resubscribing to the channel as we have extreme rates of speed here. Dangerous rates of speed as we go through very busy intersections. Riding along the 110 parallel to the 110 restricted airspace, but thankfully we're on the right side of it right now.
Pedestrians in the street here, a very dangerous situation. This guy is not showing any signs of slowing down, but this is part of the reason they put. Oh, look at this!
Oh my God!
Sidewalk here. He's going over the shoulder here on Figueroa.
Barely in the shoulder, barely any room on the shoulder. Figueroa and Florence. Oh my goodness!
Not even a lane. He is
Oh, we just plowed him. We may have just driven over a shoulder in this Dodge Charger.
behind him. He's got lots of flashing lights way back there. Now using a parking lot to cut through this
Parking lot to get us around the traffic.
Going to come out onto Manchester Avenue. He has already been on Manchester once. He came under the 110 freeway and is now back on Manchester westbound from Figueroa.
Oh, high drama here.
Try and lose those ground units, and I'm afraid they have had to pull back once again because he is driving way too fast.
Going into tracking mode, okay. We know the benefits and we know the benefits and the potential harm of tracking mode. It's going to calm him down a little bit. Very dangerous driver, but this will calm him down. The problem with tracking mode is when this person does ultimately ejectocito, there will be no ground units to pursue, and who knows what happens next. Kaihan in the chat drops 10 tier 1 subs out. Sub dubs in the chat for one of our most loyal community members. Kaihan, what's up, man?
Yeah, and I
Good to see you.
We have that video of earlier, just a few moments ago, when we saw the
All
driver
sorts of
ran through a
subs
fence.
going out.
It was clearly marked road closed.
Up to so many subs going out. We got a level. Oh, here's the replay on the right side of the screen. And it blows through an entire fence. He approached it like it was a screen set away from the ball, and he just ran through it like Draymond. You don't see that shit? Another stop sign. The reason for the angle on this is a restricted airspace in South Los Angeles. LAX land, and the inbound flights are coming right around here. That was a flagrant foul. He approached that fence and just said, Leroy Jenkins.
We are doing our best to keep eyes on him as he continues this zigzag through southwest LA, which is in the
Please make a
LAX
left. Please make a
Bravo
left.
airspace,
Okay,
making it
that is not a
little
left.
difficult to get that really
We need him to
good
make a left.
shot
We're on the
as he was coming towards
south side of the
the
restricted
essentially
LAX
now
airspace right
the
now.
opposite direction. He's moving away from us again, westbound.
Oh God, big intersection coming. Big intersection.
I'm being told now
Ah!
that they are treating this as a possible DUI suspect behind the wheel of that car.
Headed up to Vermont now.
He's behind the wheel of a
Vermont Ave in Inglewood off of Slauson and Figueroa.
driving with reckless abandon.
Excuse me,
That
Florence
looks
and
like it's heading
Figueroa.
south again on Vermont, heading, I guess, toward Inglewood. But man, it was very frightening as he was going through that residential area. Very narrow streets. People are out walking. They're walking their dogs. They're doing what people do on a normal day. And
Kids are out after school. It's
Exactly.
Friday afternoon. It's just the worst time for a pursuit. But so often, this is the time that we see these pursuits.
Oh,
you know,
God, this
happen.
angle makes the
and again, we
intersection
still don't
so
really know
stressful.
Sorry, Chris. I was just going to
Headed back towards Chris Christie in Air 7.
Suspected of a DUI. That's
Anyone in LA, have you seen the Air 7 chopper? They repainted it. It's so gorgeous. It's big blue and yellow helicopter. It is not, it's not, don't worry about the graphic. Ah, intersection!
Knee-jerk steering here as he makes
It's not a Mercedes, that's a Dodge Charger. Older version of a silver Dodge Charger.
Try and squeeze through traffic. It's a busy afternoon here. He is retracing some of the same territory that he has already covered. So he may not even be looking for a specific destination. It might be the case.
Thank you
that he's
to the
looking for an
Nightbot.
opportunity to hide
Dodge
somewhere,
Charger.
potentially dump the vehicle and run away, or perhaps he has something else in mind entirely. But either way, the driving, very dangerous, very reckless, a little too dangerous for those officers to stay too close behind him here. They're going to have to triangulate.
Oh,
their
green
way
light,
in
lucky,
here
that's a green light.
and
How much
try
is
to get
gas
ready
right now?
for him. When he
409?
does eventually
409 at the
come
Arco,
to a
not
stop,
too bad.
They want to be ready for him, and that's what the air
We are
show
in
is.
tracking
As
mode
he goes
at the
around
moment,
Officers
but this
Court,
is
calling
a
him location.
very
He's
dangerous
now on
pursuit.
Century Boulevard, again going westbound on Century.
You saw the replay of him plowing
He is
through
slowing
the
down
gate.
just a little bit.
Truck
Red
stick,
light
oh
here.
God.
We'll see if
Vermont
he-
Avenue and Century Boulevard intersection. Thank God we made a right-hand turn. That's like a 4-lane intersection.
And now he's really starting
More
to
subs coming
establish
into the
a
chat.
little
Matt
bit of a
Bode,
circle. Maybe not
Dabad,
exactly
Westy
the same
Rocks, No
road,
Pity.
but he's starting
Shout out to all
make
you
a
guys
loop
for
through this part
resubbing. You
of
keep
Southwest
subbing, we
LA,
keep
which
doing
may
chases.
provide
Simple as
an
that.
opportunity at
Up to
some
70 miles an hour on
point
Vermont
for
Avenue in
a
Inglewood.
possible spike strip. Very challenging in normal circumstances.
Not making circles around the area, so spike strips will be difficult and can't obviously pit with all of this traffic and in tracking mode.
And I think we're seeing the contrary here. I think it looks like he's actually speeding up, really pressing that gas pedal as he now is back on Vermont Avenue, heading northbound through the 90s.
And are the police have backed off? Is that correct? The police aren't directly on his tail, right? Or are they?
They have had no choice but to back off. They're trying to catch up. They're trying to get into a position where they can either intercept and then maybe put us
Kimbo
back in pursuit
Slice.
mode. But it was so
If you're
dangerous, they
a
had to
love, done
basically
has
put it in
been.
tracking
All
mode
these names, I
and
can't
hold
keep
that
up with all these
responsibility
damn
to the
names in
airship.
the chat.
They were still trying to keep up
A
with them
blanket
from
thank you
behind,
to you
but in the
all
last
for
several
continuing
minutes,
to
as
join
you've
us
been able to
here
see,
on Birds in the Air.
despite the fact
The
that
only
we saw
source for
flashing
police
lights
chases.
right behind him
The
initially,
original source.
they have pulled back significantly. That is
Not
the
the
first
only.
sign
Oh,
right there.
units
Several-
engaged.
There are several SUVs.
Red and blues are lit.
A couple
There's
of
the Dodge
being
Charger at the
away from
intersection.
him, behind him.
I'd say they're about
But you
100
can
yards
see they're slowing
behind.
down, actually giving him some breathing room. So they are intentionally keeping this in tracking mode. They are intentionally keeping their distance. They're pulling back. They obviously have no choice. They can't go through a lot of these red lights that he's blowing through, but they are starting to catch up here. We have
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
There are the
4
units.
LAPD interceptors
There's some
now
smoke coming off the
on his
sidewalk
tail,
there.
still intentionally
cooking
keeping their
something?
distance
That
as
looks
he
good.
now slows down slightly down
Or it's just a
Manchester
fire.
Avenue once again. So we're starting to repeat some of the same roads. If they can get somebody in front of them, it's again very
Headed back
difficult
towards
to roll
Manchester
through
and
traffic,
Normandy.
But you look for any opportunity if he slows down.
Big
maybe
intersection
they'll go
coming
in
up
for that
here.
pit maneuver, or maybe if he continues this loop, they can get somebody ahead of him with a spike strip. But the erratic nature of this chase really it makes it much more challenging and starts to limit those options. They have those tactics at their disposal.
So the lens on this camera can do about 6 miles. Can handle about 6 miles of the car going north.
information.
We
that
need
they
him
are
to turn
dealing with,
around.
including
Otherwise,
the
we're going to have to go
possibility
around
of
the
a
restricted
weapon or
airspace.
what other charges this person
Good
may be
advertising for
wanted
calljacob.com.
That's all going to play into the decision making, into how they use their tactics, how they use their tools, and whether they want to take any more aggressive action. Right now, they're pulling right up around him here.
That's a lot of units.
And,
Oh,
he's going
big boy
through-
intersection coming up here.
Coming up on Western.
Western Avenue.
Coming up, westbound Manchester at Western at the red light.
Oh, right-hand turn.
Right
Okay, that actually helps
and
us a little
they
bit.
are gonna make that right with him here as soon as they have
We're
the
going to lose him
opportunity.
behind some
Again,
buildings,
once he
but
goes north,
at least he's headed
these
east and
buildings,
not
we're gonna
north.
lose
Anything but
a
north.
solid
We need
visual of
southbound.
that suspect vehicle. We're going to try and keep up with him here, but it's providing a challenge for us and obviously a challenge for LAPD as well.
Yeah, for a moment I thought he was heading towards LAX, but then he made that right on Western.
Oh, no.
The vehicle there, he's once again heading west.
No,
Is
that's
that the vehicle
north,
there, Chris?
numb
Can you
nuts.
confirm that
That's the
was-
vehicle. He's now heading westbound on 84th Place.
That is not
A
westbound.
little bit slower, and they're not too far behind him here. The problem is, they have figured out that when he sees those blue and red lights behind him, that's when
I
he
am
steps
Gregor
on the
D
gas.
in the chat.
And that is when the pump
5 tier
is
1
most
subs
at
going
danger.
out to the community.
So they're intentionally letting him make these turns. They're letting
W's
him
in the chat.
continue
Sub
this
dubs
joyride
for Gregor
until
D.
they can figure out-
Good to see you
until his
again.
behavior changes such
Does
that
anyone
they
in
can
Los
take
Angeles
action
have
here.
the
Right now,
other
the
networks
tactic is
up? We
to
have
stay
Gil
just
Levis.
out of his
We have
rear view,
Eliana Moreno.
just close
What
enough
we need is
that
a
they can be in
chopper on the
position
north
if he
side
catches that vehicle.
of the restricted airspace for a
And,
better
I'm
better
wondering
angle.
if
And I
because
don't
there
want
are
to
so
turn
many
it unless I
vehicles on
know
the
that
road,
there's a
that Spike Strip
guarantee
might be difficult
of a better
for him
angle.
to,
K. Cal's
put
Desmond
in
Shaw
place.
is up as well.
It's really hard. It's going to require him to slow down, and that just doesn't seem to be the case with the suspect. So for now,
I'm gonna try and
they've
look it
got
up.
to put that-
Give me a second
that
here.
Tactic in the back seat and just kind of leave it there until he slows down, and then maybe he'll provide them an opportunity
All right,
where
let's
they can
see.
set up. Again, it takes a lot of prediction to actually predict where he's going next, where he wants to be, and then set up on those roads or intersections where they can run over that.
I'm
spike strip.
in an
It's
ad
very,
break
very
on
difficult,
NBC
again,
at the
under
moment,
any
so I'm
circumstance,
checking
but
Eliana.
especially during a high-speed chase
Stick
like
with
this,
us, people.
it's really just not an
If he makes a
option.
left-hand turn at any
Continuing
point, we're back in
southbound
business.
On 2nd through 90th Street, 2nd Avenue through
That's
90th.
right, 21 months and
Again,
counting
through
now,
now another
Aquaholics.
residential section of South Central here as he continues.
Look how fast he's going past those houses. Look at that angle. Oh my God! There's an intersection going
right
up.
here. He's going to come out. I believe he's going to come out right here. If he has
Okay, Eliana's got a better angle. Guys, I'm going to make a switch to Eliana Moreno.
It's on Second Street.
We're going to again kind of peek through these.
You're going to have to bear with me for a second while I reframe. I don't know if I can't do it. Not yet, it's too intense.
Just a guess, but I'm thinking he sees those black and whites in his rearview mirror once again.
All right,
And a
let's do
note
it.
to
Let's do
people,
it.
if
Let's
you're
do it. Let's
watching
go for
this
it.
At home, if you're in this neighborhood, if you're
Let's do it.
if
Let's
you've-
make the
if you're
switch.
within a mile
We're
of
going to
this
Eliana.
because of the way he's been driving. Please stay inside.
We'll keep
Don't
listening
get on
to
the
it
street. Don't,
until I can get it over. Hold on.
cross
I got
the
it.
street.
I got it. We're good.
This guy is
And
going to
then
be
at that
unable
point,
to stop.
the,
If he's impaired, his
The watch commander, who's listening in over the scanners, can determine whether or not
Now on the call,
if the watch
Eliana Moreno, News Chopper 4.
too crazy of a pursuit, or this is the guy that they definitely need to get, like a murder suspect, then they'll go ahead and pursue anyway. But there's situations where the watch commander will determine that it's a better scenario to just let this person go. And that's typically when it's a property crime and not a violent crime. And also, of course, if the
Shout out
person's
to
driving
Eliana.
recklessly,
Of course.
it's
How
important
dare I
to
even
protect the general public. And
contemplate that Eliana wouldn't be directly overhead. Wrong side of the road. We almost hit head on. 70 miles an hour, inches away from going head on the wrong side of the road. Headed back towards across the double yellows. Wrong side of the road. We have no clue what's coming the other way. The reason why I didn't go to Eliana first was because Chris Christie was on top of it first. We were just in, look at this shit. We're in the middle of the, fender bender. Fender bender in the intersection as that left-hand turn. Did not see that that Dodge Charger was coming to a sudden stop.
that made no sense.
We're in Hawthorne too. New jurisdiction with Hawthorne PD.
I'm actually hearing right now on the scanner that because of that little move that he just did, it's too dangerous. So just what I was talking about right now, a second ago.
You guys see that fender bender?
In all of this, the watch commander has determined that it's safest to just let this guy go. So at this point, they're terminating the pursuit.
Pursuit has been terminated. This guy's so crazy.
Pick him up as he goes under the aircraft here. But again, what we're hearing on the scanner is because of these maneuvers that we just witnessed that were simply too dangerous, the LAPD has decided to let this one go.
Well, that's LAPD. If he stays in Hawthorne, he might get the Hawthorne jurisdiction. You know the media is not leaving this, so we could just be in air tracking, and they'll pick him up at their convenience. But Hawthorne is extremely aggressive.
Exactly. As far as we know, the car's not stolen, so they're able to run the information on the car, and they know who's driving. They can go wait for this person at home. But in terms of having units or even the airship overhead, it sounds like LAPD has determined that it is just safer to let
Oh my God!
to head home.
Almost hit that XL Dodge Charger in the intersection. Every intersection is fucking madness. Crenshaw Boulevard now in Hawthorne.
Some other point. So I believe it actually started on surface streets, Colleen, but then he quickly jumped on the 105, which is how that started. So as you were saying, normally LAPD doesn't patrol the freeways, so it wouldn't have kicked off there. But that is the CHP's jurisdiction. But in this case, since those units were already trailing him from the road onto the freeway, they were able to stick with him. But he actually didn't stay on the 105 freeway for very long.
Is that a black Cybertruck I just saw?
And then was on surface
On the
streets
roof there?
ever since.
I didn't know they
for
make them in
the
black.
pursuit.
Oh, airship overhead. LAPD airship. That doesn't look like a termination to me. You guys see that black and white bird that just flew in front of Eliana? Cybercharger, excuse me. You can customize those things? Wow. People got too much money. All right. Where are we? Crenshaw and El Segundo. Still in North Hawthorne. Yeah, he's just kind of chilling
so
now.
it's on Crenshaw Boulevard at El Segundo.
Oh
This
man,
is the
there are
airship.
birds flying around everywhere. It's like a pissed off beehive.
They're not officially in
Sheriff's
pursuit
Department,
anymore, but he's
LAPD,
just beyond the
buzzing.
building. So we'll see him pop out here. He's stuck in traffic, so he's gonna be forced to continue westbound here. So coming out here in just a sec, there he is.
Just back to driving normal. We're gonna take a star off now because of termination pursuit, but 3 stars is when there's active engagement.
So we
You
entered
can't drive
the
away from
area
3
of
stars in
Hawthorne
GTA.
Airport, near the 105 freeway, so that's kind of what we're tracking here. But we're in Hawthorne and continuing westbound. So if he continues in this general direction, it would eventually get him to LAX, and that has been a very popular spot for pursuit drivers to head to because they're getting knowledgeable that oftentimes when pursuits head to LAX, it's really difficult for the airship to follow. And of course, there's lots of parking structures and lots of places to hide. So as of late, it has become a popular spot for some of these pursuits to come to an end. Right now, he is heading in that general area. Go ahead, Michael.
All right.
Yeah, he was going freeway speeds on surface streets and is now slowing down here, heading into an alley.
Alleyway it
that's
is.
interesting to me because unless you know an area pretty well, how would you know where an alley is and if it's going to be a dead end, right? So
I mean, he's
there's a
he's
good
doing
chance
50
you're
miles an
familiar
hour in
with
this
area.
alley.
We're essentially just off of Crenshaw Boulevard and 135th Street in the Inglewood area, just making our way here down an alley that borders a street and on one side of
Where
the
are
commercial
we?
area.
Are we on the
other.
wash right
So
now?
let's see what this
Is this the
section
LA
looks
River?
like.
What?
Looks like a parking lot that will lead him back out onto Crenshaw
street?
Boulevard if he cuts through the parking lot. But perhaps he's going to park. It looks like he might be parking.
Yo, doors open?
Jim, if we could come around a bit. So he's just on the other side of this building. Can't quite see him, so we're going to just kind of keep a little bit.
There's a Dodge Charger.
Maybe anyone gets out of the vehicle. Or
The
if they
Dodge
fall.
Chargers are everywhere.
Kind of trying to figure out where to go from here.
Is he out of the car?
139th.
Did he eject Osido? No, he's still in there. And we're driving away.
Looks like he got out of the car and jumped back in. As you said, Colleen, we couldn't see him because we were on the
Did he
opposite
pick
side
something
of the building,
up?
but it looks like he ran in, he had a cigarette on his mouth, and is now back in the vehicle. So again, as far as we know, this isn't a stolen car. So the
He had to
LAPD
get
knows
cigs.
who this person is in all likelihood. They know where the vehicle is registered to. They may have units waiting for them when they get home. The airship just
He
went
had
through
to
a
get
shop,
some
and again, they're
burners.
No longer in tracking mode, but Crenshaw Boulevard, back on Crenshaw Boulevard, this time headed eastbound.
Indy Mac 2 says 18 months. That's a long time.
It will, because they don't know why he went in there. Again, one of the questions the officers had was, is this person armed? If he was armed, that would have been
Some
a perfect
heaters,
opportunity
lung
for him to
darts.
drop off the weapon, and when he is taken into custody, he's not going to have that on him anymore. At this point, what he was doing in that business for a very short amount of time, maybe 30 seconds at most, is still unknown.
Okay, we've calmed down a little bit. How is everybody? I'm trying to keep my eye on some basketball games too.
Yeah, it was initially the DUI reason was why they tried to pull him over. So perhaps he was swerving, driving a little erratically, and so an officer tried to pull him over. It was an officer from the LAPD Southeast Division, which is essentially the South LA area of the city. And the driver failed to yield, and the pursuit was on, which added that failure to yield charge. Anytime you don't stop when an officer tries to stop you, it's automatically a failure to yield. On top of that, we've obviously witnessed some reckless driving, so we can add that to the mix. So DUI, reckless driving, failure to yield. But you'll remember, he was driving so crazy compared to what he's driving right now that the LAPD decided it was best to just kind of let him go for now. They know who this person likely is because as far as we know, the car's not stolen. Unclear if he's armed. They couldn't really get an answer to that. But we did see him stop there momentarily at a local business, but is now back on residential streets.
What's for
in
dinner
the Hawthorne
tonight? I
area.
just had nachos. I just made chicken nachos, chicken, cheese, and salsa. Some special hot sauce. Something tells me this
Right, Andres.
pursuit is not permanently terminated. The hot sauce.
Yeah,
The name of the hot
pushing in,
sauce
on
is
him again. And It looks
Melendez.
like he's actually going to stop at the light, which we really haven't seen him do too much.
Now he's obeying the law.
So, going into tracking mode or just completely backing off really does appear to be working in this case because the driver has
Okay, a
slowed down
success story of
significantly,
tracking
but
mode.
is now continuing through Yukon
Far and few
Street,
between.
on Rosecrans, still in the Hawthorne area. Again, at this point, we don't know where the vehicle is registered to. That would give us a little bit of insight as to where he may possibly end up because drivers do tend to either go back home or return to an area that is familiar to them. But for now, Rosecrans coming up to Cornbloom here in Hawthorne. Yeah, correct. They're not officially in pursuit anymore, so there's not going to be any units directly behind him. The airship's in the general area, and even though he's not in official mode or in official pursuit mode, oftentimes they will just let the airship kind of hang out in the general area just in case it does become an officer safety issue or an issue for the citizens of the area. So they're kind of just in the area but not actively in pursuit, and the driver has slowed down significantly. Still Rosecrans at Prairie. If he were to drive like this for the remainder of the time that he's on the road, I personally would not complain. Compared to what we saw earlier when we saw a number of close calls and when he was running red lights and
Sorry,
stop signs and
Sal, I'm
almost,
trying to watch. I have
couple of
so many
pedestrians,
prop
what
overs in
we're
this
seeing now
Pistons
is
game that
exactly
it's got my
why the
attention.
LAPD
I got
canceled this
Tobias
pursuit.
Harris and Tim Hardaway Jr. prop overs. I'm trying to get home on these. If I go silent, it's because Tobias Harris is at the free throw line, and I need him to make these. Make it. Thank you.
We have some fog in the general area. But
Baby
it's kind
Bread
of,
Bar
kinda
says, I
hit and
use
miss.
Melinda's
It's
daily.
not a blanket
I like
fog.
the
So every now and then you will
single
get
flame
a cloud
habanero.
through the shop, but overall it looks. I can see to the Pacific Ocean, so we've still got some visibility up ahead if he does continue toward LAX, which at this point is the direction that he's heading. Not necessarily a darkness issue, Michael, but of course, if he were to head to LAX, then that could potentially change things. The airship that's kind of in the general area, keeping tabs on him, would most likely
Oh,
not
beef stew!
follow him because of the LAX restrictions.
Oh, beef stew with the Dikembe finger wag.
Don't necessarily know where this person is. So
Beef stew.
the watch commander at that point could determine
Kelly
that
Oubre just tried to
perhaps now
bang
is
on
the time
beef
to
stew.
get units back on the vehicle,
And got
because the airship
Dikembe'd.
wouldn't be able to follow
God,
anymore.
I love beef
So
stew.
so that could potentially
Who
change
said
things.
call
But
the
we're
hotline if you
actually,
bet on
my
Tobias
man,
Harris?
James Pollard is
I-
telling me that the
First of
airship
all,
has
you're a
now
moron.
cleared out
Second
as
of
well.
all, I
So at
beat the
this
line
point,
by
no
3
units
points
online
because I
in the
bet it when
vehicle
the
and
Cade
no
Cunningham
airship overhead
didn't
either.
show up
Just
to
gonna
shoot
wait for
around.
this
News
guy
came
to
out, and I beat the
probably
closing
arrive home.
line by 3 points. Quite the edge. I only need like 12 points from Tobias. He's about to cover in the first half.
Yeah, same general area. He seems to be very familiar with the South LA Hawthorne area. Inglewood.
There's a reason why 99% of you should not gamble on sports.
And the only freeway he was ever on was the 105.
I don't even need to explain why, but that type of mentality is exactly
he
why.
was driving quite recklessly on those surface
These
streets,
type of
which is
games
what
in
led,
the
those
the
officers
Hornets
to go
versus the
back off.
Nets,
But
those
you
type of
wouldn't
games
know
have the
it.
biggest
By
edges.
the way he's been driving now the last 5 minutes, you wouldn't think that this had been the erratic driving that we had witnessed, because now he's following the rules of the road. He even stopped at a mini mart to pick something up or drop
Post my
something off.
picks anywhere.
And is, just
The
kinda
picks,
continuing to work
the
his way
shit
down
I bet on is
the
off the
road.
board 15 seconds after I bet it. Why would I give out picks on a number that doesn't exist?
Yeah, so we do have some pedestrians crossing the road there, but
Still driving around. Look at that little mini red Dodge Charger behind him. No, it's just a little Dodge. It's a Hot Wheels.
And we're heading
How's that
towards
so
LAX,
small?
that is going to mean even more traffic up ahead, and I can kind of just look out the window toward the airport, and I see a lot of taillights.
Yeah, we're on Rosecrans. If we keep heading west, it's just going to get even more and more traffic. It's only 5:47. We're still in rush hour.
Perhaps either turn into the street or flip
This went from a dangerous pursuit and a potential clout chase to very civil.
Freeway, and we're east of LAX.
Girthy Mac in the chat just gave 5 tier 1 subs out. Girthy Mac, hello to you. Welcome. Your passport's on the way as we almost...
We're a few miles. I'd put it about 3
You know what
miles.
sucks, by the way? That fender bender that happened at the intersection, that person's going to be liable for running into the back of that car, that Dodge Charger that slammed its brakes because it didn't want to T-bone this idiot. And that person's going to be liable for that. Life sucks sometimes.
Just off of a street called Mansell Avenue. We're just south of
Kalen B, 24.
And
Huh? Oh, Nightcrawler! Nightcrawler!
that's really interesting that person would know that this car was the one in the pursuit. So
Nightcrawler on the corner!
No,
Or a potential citizen's arrest.
the cross of Kingsdale.
That person on the corner knew exactly who this car was. This is now we're getting into cloud chase territory. We're in Lawndale and we got people on the corner that know the chase is coming. Is that another one? I don't think that was a cop.
Yeah, and when you think about
That
it,
was
it
a
makes
Nightcrawler?
lot of sense, because if you drive around an
Or
area that is
someone who was
familiar,
trying to get involved with the
you're
chase.
not going to accidentally drive yourself into a dead end. Perhaps you're going to know where the parking structures are, and you can
Oh,
hide
don't
there.
say that word, Eliana. No
If you
parking
find out
decks,
in
please.
your own house, and then it could become a barricaded suspect situation. So you do have a little more options when you know the area better than potentially the officers who are chasing you, especially if they came from another jurisdiction. In this case, it was the LAPD Southeast Division that was in pursuit initially. We're now in Inglewood, though, so it would be Inglewood Police if they wanted to get into it. But again, this was initially somebody wanted for DUI, so it would have been a matter of this person just pulling over. They would have.
Well, this is what happens when they terminate the pursuit. The good news is he's not driving recklessly. Is that a Waymo?
Now he's added all sorts of other.
Is that a Waymo in front of him?
Driving and failure to yield.
Yo, can you imagine if a Waymo got into a police chase? We have Waymos all over the place here.
Exactly. So they run the
So
the
creepy.
plates, they get the registration
Car pulls up next to you with no
information, and they
driver.
send officers to that residence and perhaps talk to anyone who's already there and say, hey, by any chance, who's driving the silver Mercedes today? So without even knowing.
Everybody out there know what a
the
Waymo
person
is?
at that residence may be,
Driverless vehicles, they're on the road
so
everywhere.
It gives the officers options
Here
when
in
the car
California.
isn't stolen. If it is, then they don't know who the
No,
this person could
I won't get in
possibly
one,
be.
but
They would've probably
they
stayed
do
on the
look
vehicle a little
pretty.
bit longer
This
than
guy
they
is
did.
no longer
But now
interested in
since,
waiting.
The vehicle is not stolen. They have the registration information and likely know who this person is. That is why they backed off, and those officers are no longer directly behind the vehicle, and the airstrip is no longer overhead.
Yeah, they had been mapping this area for the last 2.5 years. I'd seen them on the roads with no passengers, but they were mapping the streets. They were out there just doing like test drives to. There's another Nightcrawler? Did I miss another one? Sorry, I was scratching my balls. Too much information.
Copy.
We pulled over. Oh, this could be an accident. Oh, that was close. Okay, we're parking in front of a fire hydrant now. This car's gonna get towed.
He's parked.
Lights are on. Lights are off. Door's about to. Oh, door might open.
No, not yet. No. No, it's a fire hydrant.
Eliana's internet voice versus her TV voice.
Copy.
Copy.
There's another pursuit somewhere too.
Huh? Another pursuit? Eliana, you tease me. Wonder if she's gonna leave to go to that one. Because not a lot of action happening here. Stay tuned, people. We could be on the move. Potential double box situation. If he starts moving again. It's a shooting suspect. And it's nearby.
Oh, Newton is in pursuit. We'll go there next. We're
Newton.
just gonna do a quick little talker and then
Okay.
we'll go up to Newton, which is like South LA, or more like downtown LA. They're in pursuit.
She's definitely close. She could be there in a couple minutes. She's gonna do a quick
Okay,
packet.
I got you guys.
She's gonna do a quick update, then she's gonna bounce to
We
the
can
next
go?
pursuit.
Okay, cool. We're on the way.
On the way, Eliana, go, 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 go. We'll stay with Eliana. We're not shutting the stream down. We're headed to another pursuit.
Yes, it's LAPD Newton.
Okay, so let's do this. Hold on. We're gonna double box. Here's what I'm gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna find us another stream.
It's downtown LA, guys.
I'm gonna find us another stream, hopefully of that parked car chase.
Like 5 minutes.
5 minutes away. 5 minutes away. Let's go. Stay there. Hopefully Gil Levis is
I don't have
overhead.
the cross streets, but if you just rewind
Nope,
the
KTLA is going to the new
you'll be
chase
able to
too.
pull it off the address
ABC 7 is also no longer over it. I'm going to check KCAL so we can do a little double box while we wait.
20th and Washington.
What do I tell you? CBC, chases, breed.
For the mountains.
Okay, CBS is, KCAL is in the weather, waiting probably for the next chase. CBC, chases, breed, chases. We have been in a drought. And guess what? You get one, and the snowball turns into an avalanche. There's downtown, right at the top of the screen, under the words Carpool Lane. She's going to be there relatively soon. Hauling ass, doing 150 miles an hour in this chopper.
Yeah, they just bailed.
No! Fuck.
Yeah, they're in for pursuit.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they just bailed. But we can go if you guys want.
They
They're still
ejecto,
chasing them.
they ejecto cetoed. Oh, that's a bummer. Well, she's still gonna head that way in case maybe they
We're
extended.
4 minutes away, guys. We'll go.
She's still going. Good job. Copy. Copy. Ooh. Copy. She loves doing that. Okay, now they gotta go north. That's the 110 freeway right there. 110, 105 intersection, or interchange. We are following the northbound 110 up towards the 10 interchange. You guys are getting a nice little panoramic of downtown Los Angeles here. You're welcome, Pickle Dustin. So we're headed to a chase that may be over. Don't know yet. Not officially code for. This is kind of an ASMR of visuals. Isn't ASMR is usually just audio only. This is a visual with the helicopter white noise in the background. Nice night. A pleasant night. I was riding my bike earlier today. Went and got a haircut. Gotta look fresh for a date tomorrow. Just another tough day here in LA. 65 and sunny. Middle of February. You're asking me what bike. I'm going to answer you the same way that Steve Carell does in 40-Year-Old Virgin. That's right. I ride a bike-sicle. when she's saying, "Oh, I used to ride on the back of one of those back in the 70s." Yeah, me too. I ride my bicycle. Did I not? Yeah, it was pouring last night, but it rained overnight. When I woke up today, it was sunny out. Chet Holmgren. Hey, Chet. DJ Munns, you've been listening to the Serious Show. No, she's not. No one's on the Peyton tier. No one's on the Peyton tier besides Peyton.
They just got the driver.
Oh, driver's under arrest.
I said they just got the driver.
There it is. She's pulling up on it right now. Night sun overhead. Maybe there's passengers they're still looking for. We're not code 4. You can see all the units everywhere. It's 3 separate blocks. There's like 10 units. This must have been a huge chase. Oh, shooting suspect. That's why. Pulling up on it right now.
I think so. They haven't told us not to.
Copy.
It's like 3 o'clock, kind of 4 o'clock. So if you just go east. Yeah, you can just like go east on the 10.
They got flashlights out, night sun out.
Assignment S from the chopper.
It's like they're looking for someone.
Oh, okay, copy that. Clear to land. Sorry, your volume was a little low, but headed home. Hey, we're good.
All right, I guess we're not staying to find out. Is that Dodger Stadium? No. Maybe. No, I don't think so. All right, back to base they go, unfortunately, but it is an early Friday night here in Los Angeles, 6:01 p.m. Choppers will be in the air through 11 o'clock tonight. So if you have not already turned on your notifications both here and at Skywob Alerts on Twitter, that's the only way that you will be notified in the next 4 hours. So follow this account, turn on your noties, and then at Skywob Alerts. And if you want to support us through some merchandise, that would be at birdsintheair.com. Birdsintheair.com. CBC, my friends. Chases breed chases. That was a good one tonight, but we do not get any closure. And that person, once again, gets away after tracking mode. But until next time, it's your boy. I'll see you on the timeline.